in all disciplines, not just physics. So we are very happy that we are doing it in physics for all the teachers and students throughout Karnataka. It's going all over the state, and we are expecting good response. And unfortunately, not up to our satisfaction. Anyway, so we are continuing to do that with the speakers from all over Karnataka, different universities, institutes, and so on. And one more thing, we are also encouraging the speakers to use the local language, that is Kannada, because that is a big barrier to most of the students and most of the teachers, in my opinion. So we should not put unnecessary barriers apart from the subject in communicating science to one another. So that is also, in fact, NEP also suggesting that. Introduce local languages in higher education and make students feel comfortable. So we are trying to do that. Several talks have been arranged in Canada during our the last 1 year. So we are very glad that very distinguished scientist, Professor CV Yelamaggad, has agreed to give a talk on liquid crystals today. So before I request him to speak, I just introduce briefly a few things about him. He is presently a senior scientist at Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences and also ACSIR professor in the same institute. He is concurrently holding the post of adjunct faculty and Dr. TMA Endowment Chair in Advanced Functional Materials, MAHE, as well as Bharat Ratna CNR Rao Distinguished Chair at SGBIT. He obtained his PhD degree in organic chemistry from Karnataka University and carried out postdoctoral research at the Department of Organic Chemistry, IIS Bangalore, and Department of Applied Chemistry, National Chiao University, Taiwan. So subsequently, he was senior scientist in a private chemical industry in the R&D division for some years. And since 1997, he has been a scientist at the Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences. So his work focuses mainly on soft matter, nanomaterials, nano-soft composites, and other closely related functional materials that are promising from basic research and advanced science viewpoints. He has made very numerous contributions in liquid crystals with his journal research publications numbering over 250. He has 10 national and international patents to his credit. He has guided over 9 PhD students, 5 postdoctoral researchers, and several project assistants. He has been a principal investigator for research projects sponsored by governmental agencies. And he has visited several countries like China, Italy, Canada, UK, Japan on academic missions. So we are very glad that he has agreed to give an introductory talk on liquid crystals. And before concluding, I might mention that recently he has been awarded the prestigious Raja Ramanna Award prize by the government of Karnataka for scientific achievements. So now I request Dr. Yelamaggad to speak for about 50 minutes and then answer a few questions. And since I might also mention that the speaker knows Kannada very well, so you might don't hesitate to ask or comment in Kannada. So let us put the language to a credit. Please go ahead. Now, Dr. Yelamaggad, you can proceed.
Thank you indeed, Professor Kagli. At the outset, I would like to express my deep sense of, am I audible?
Yes, very clear.
At the outset, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to the organizers from Karnataka Physics Association and Janadhara Bangalore. It's indeed a great pleasure to be among you and say a few words about the another state of matter called liquid crystals. Well, over the past 30-35 years or so, I've been learning about liquid crystals. To begin with, I would like to mention that till today, I have been not able to figure out some of the aspects of liquid crystals. If I were to understand or others were also understand, then would not have struggled with any disease that are coming up in the recent days, including the combating COVID-19. This is a very special subject by itself, but people intend to ignore it. If we were to understand the lyotropic liquid crystal part of our life, then I think we can stay more than 150 years or so. It is happening elsewhere. I shall bring the topic little later. Well, once again, thank you all of you teachers. And my presentation is very extremely simple. And any questions that you may it may occur to you, you may please check with me. There's no doubt. There is no barrier like you cannot stop me. You can stop me always. And is my humble submission to all of you that uh, please, I'm going to talk about new development in the area. My humble submission is you please convey this message to younger generation so that they can join the soft matter research. Well, he has already introduced about me, and today I'm going to speak to you how uh, can crystal be liquids, or how liquids can be crystal. In other words, I'll be speaking to you, all of you, about the fourth state of matter called liquid crystals. Liquid crystal, the moment you hear liquid crystal word, it's a misnomer. Either you say liquid or crystal. Is it the fact that you take a glass of water, put a crystal into it, and put a water into that? So there's a liquid, there's a crystal, is a liquid crystal. That's absolutely wrong. Like other states of matter, like right from beginning, right from our childhood, we have been made aware of the existence of different state of matter, like solids, liquids, gas, plasma, both sides and condensate. Now, between the solids and liquid state of matter, there occurs yet another state of matter called liquid crystals. Before I proceed with my actual presentation, I would like to say a few words about the kind of research activities that are taking place at the Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences. Earlier, it was Center for Liquid Crystal Research. It was established way back in 1991 by a great physicist called Professor Chandrasekhar, who is a nephew of Sir CV Ramanna. Right from the beginning, we have been working on soft materials. Those are nothing but liquid crystals. Those can be used, for display, solar cells, organic semiconductors, and so on. Means we are realizing organic semiconductors. We have been also focusing our attention on the gels. Those can be instead of organic molecules. The display what you see in your electronic devices, including your mobile phone, they are made up of organic molecules. They have the ability to show liquid crystalline phase. So therefore, they show nice images as far as your display is concerned. Now, can we replace? There are some problems associated with the present LCD technology. So what we try to do is we try to replace them with gels, so, like pneumatic gels, and so that we can fabricate LCD. In recent times, we have been able to carry out a perfect marriage between nanomaterials and nanomaterials and liquid crystals, so as to realize what are known as soft nanocomposites. Basically, what we have done is we have taken organic molecules capable of exhibiting liquid crystal phases, and these are made to associate with the central, gold scaffold, or you can take any metal nanoparticle or oxides, and we are trying to associate it with them so that there won't be any phase separation. So you have one entity called soft nanocomposites, one entity, monodisperse system, and they are able to show the properties of both liquid crystals as well as nanomaterials. As all of you are aware, respected teachers, liquid crystals have a number of properties which I shall deal with today, and then nanomaterials have a number of properties. So the idea came up to us. Why don't we combine? Covalently associate, or let's have a strong bonding between the gold nanoparticles, especially gold nanoparticles or silver nanoparticle, with organic molecules capable of showing liquid crystallinity or mesomorphism. We have been very successful, and as expected, they show the properties of both soft material as well as nanomaterials. In particular, liquid crystal, they show liquid crystallinity as well as they show surface plasma and resonance. That's one of the important characteristics of nanomaterials. Okay, our group is focusing on the molecular design, synthesis, and characterization of naturally occurring materials based on naturally occurring material based, economically feasible, functional conventional liquid crystals, non-conventional liquid crystals, soft nano functional materials, composites, and coordination polymer. Under the class of conventional liquid crystals, especially in particular rod-like systems, so we have been able to work on salicylic amines, sinones, and now we have been able to replace some, into some extent, cyanobiphenyls with the sidnone because it has high dipole moment. Then we have been able to work on conventional liquid crystals, sorry, disc-like liquid crystals. That is a discovery of India by Indian scientist. That's Professor Chandrasekhar discovered despotic liquid crystals, and we have been able to work on that. We have been able to introduce the some functional characteristics such as supramolecular chemistry and fluorescence in them, and we have been able to get a recent, very decent publications. You can see that JAX, JOC, very important publication we have been able to get with a simple idea. We could do better. We are able to come up with very nice publications. Thanks to all my teachers and big thanks to Professor Chandrasekhar. Okay, we have been also able to show that this is in association with KAUST. I think all of you know that after MIT, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology has been one among the leaders who have contributed significantly in the recent years in terms of many the scientific challenges we have, where they have been able to address. So after the MIT, KAUST is another organization that has, emerged as yet another leading, organization. It has addressed many things I just now mentioned, and we are fortunate to. I'm very happy to let you know that I have been the visiting scientist to KAUST, and I have been able to associate with them. And one of the our results that I'm showing you here, discotic liquid crystal can also be used for H2S sensing. This has taken up a big shape, and industry have come forward to make a devices out of it. All right. So we have been also working on this is a kind of a bread and butter kind of a thing. We have been working on non-conventional liquid crystals, especially oligomers. We have been working on trimers, dimers, trimers, tetramers, pentamers. Well, what is it we have done? Why it is so important? See, in liquid crystal, you need to have several functions like a thermochromism, photochromism, and so on. So, if you take one physics segment of one one functionality, you take another segment of another functionality, join them together, so as to realize functional liquid crystals. So, in a given molecule, one simple molecule, otherwise, what happens when you try to mix the molecules, the phase separation occurs, and hence the display technology. We will not be able to address the kind of molecules we require for the display technology by doing such, by creating such molecules, which serve as a model to polymeric liquid crystal. We have been able to come up with the dimers, trimers, tetramers, and so on, and we have been able to contribute significantly to the growth of oligomers as far as this soft matter is concerned. We have been also working on banana shaped liquid crystal. The molecule look like banana, therefore they're called banana shaped molecules or bent core systems. These are pretty interesting systems because at the base level there is no as such molecular chirality, but when they self assemble, when they are basically crystalline sample, when you melt into mesophase, well, what you get is mesophase that has a macroscopic chirality. Achieving macroscopic chirality without the basic molecular chirality is very interesting. This has happened. This happens because the macroscopic chirality results in because of the nice self-assembly in a particular way. So these molecules are very important as far as the achieving the macroscopic chirality is concerned. Indeed, they should switch even at a lower field strength. Well, we have been able to also work on, the homomeric dipeptides. What we have done is take two amino acid residues and to put two half disc-like molecules, as you can see. You are able to see my cursor?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you can see this molecule, they self-assemble to give you, the kind of the DNA. We are trying to mimic DNA and RNA structures. So basically, this is what we have done. and we have been able to. This is one of my best, research as far as in terms of both chemistry and physics. Chemically, we have been able to obtain, synthetically, we have been able to obtain high enantiomeric excess compounds, and then they self-assemble to give you helical structures, as I shown schematically. Well, we have been also working on what are known as coordination polymers. These are simple, complexes. Take tetramine and add a metal ion. At room temperature, you are getting in terms of grams. So this is one of the recent big achievement as far as our laboratory is concerned. We have been also working on metal organic primers and polyaniline. We have been able to address the concern of energy, like generation of H2O, generation of hydrogen by splitting water and storage. We have been able to come up with the materials that are required for the capacitor and supercapacitors. We have been also able to figure out the toxic metal ion, figure out a molecule. They sense the presence of toxic metal ions even at the less than 1 ppb level. Toxic gases, explosive, and they have been able to also identify the high energy materials called, explosives. For example, ammonium nitrate has been one of the culprits, one of the substances that cannot be identified just with eyes. If you look at this, if I take a sugar and a salt and keep ammonium nitrate, you cannot distinguish. It appears you will not be able to figure out which is sugar, which is salt, which is which is ammonium nitrate. So our work, has been appreciated by DRDO. We have been able to come up with the new molecules, new coordinate polymer that senses. If you have three test tubes, you have in one test tube you have solution of sugar and salt and ammonium nitrate. When I add my coordination polymer, immediately there is a change in color as far as the test tube having high energy material. So that's one of our very interesting observation, and also most importantly, I have been able to obtain materials exhibiting E and Z property. What is it? Epsilon near zero. So far, we have been able to, all of us, all physics teachers or chemistry teachers, we are all aware of the refractive index. And we, in the nature, I'm sure all of you are aware, there are n number of materials. They have all, please note, they have all positive refractive index. I shall repeat, they all of them have positive refractive index. For example, air, water, coconut oil, whatsoever you take, they have a positive refractive index. There is no single material in the nature that has a negative refractive index, ladies and gentlemen. However, we have been able to make, scientists have been able to make, to achieve these materials capable of showing a negative refractive index. They're called optical metamaterials. We have been able to go up to the zero. That's why it's called epsilon near zero. What basically we have done is we have exploited the properties of both nanomaterials and liquid crystals. As you can see here, in this template, we have taken gold nanoparticles and they have been attached to liquid crystals. And when they self-assemble, there is a nice layer formation, it means helical structural formation, where we have a dielectric regime and conducting regime appearing periodically. Therefore, they show ENZ property. So negative refractive index is very, very important as far as the clocking of objects is concerned. Or we generally, that's what I said a few minutes ago. I have a number of topics to talk. Perhaps next time I'll speak about invisibility, what it is. So always we talk about the existence of God or goddesses whatsoever. Why we are not able to see them? At least I have my own explanation through my research. I, being a scientist, I have my own way of looking at the things. I have been able to give a proper answer to me, which is satisfactory. Why one is not able to see the God or goddess, although we believe, right from our childhood, we have been made, aware, we have been taught about the existence of God or goddess, and we have been made to pray God every day, and we strongly believe. As a scientist, I strongly believe that the spirituality and science and technology are two faces of a coin. If you turn this way, it's a spirituality. You turn other way, it's science and technology. If you are doing science and technology like me or anybody, my fellow, physics colleagues or chemistry colleagues, if you have done good research, it meaning that they have been able to do a good, they are into spirituality in the sense they have done very well. Means they are into the spirituality aspect. With that note, let me talk about soft matter. Uh, what is soft matter? Please note that Professor Dejen won the Nobel Prize in 1991 for his tremendous contribution to the soft matter, especially liquid crystals. We have been able to figure out the order, disorder, whatsoever in the liquid crystal. He is, I'm representing him. I remember what he said. I've heard his many lectures and I personally met him. What he says is, if we are able to understand the liquid crystallinity of soap solutions or our body, then we'll be able to live long. That's what he keeps saying. In fact, he is a founding father of soft matter. So then what is soft matter? It's extremely simple definition. Soft matter is one of the physical states that can be easily deformed or perturbed by excess stimuli like temperature, pressure, electrical field, whatsoever. If you want to read his writing, you can go to this soft matter more than words. So it's a beautiful, article. You can please go through. Examples of soft matter include liquid crystals, colloids, polymers, foams, gels, granular, and so on. Fine. Soft matter include all the areas of soft matter physics. I don't know how to minimize it. Okay. Soft matter physics, chemistry, and material science, covering everything from liquid crystal, polymer, gels, biomolecules assembly, and so on. Before I proceed with my actual notes on actual presentation about liquid crystals, I would say that please note this point: none of us, right from amoeba to dinosaur or whatsoever, any living system that exists on the earth, I shall repeat, any living system that exists on the earth, it's due to liquid crystals, meaning that without the existence of liquid crystals, none of us would have existed on this earth. Everything started about billion years ago. The first liquid crystal was formed in some part of north part of Australia. I'll come back to that point a little later. Then everything revolved. Life evolved. Then we have a n number of proofs as far as the generation of liquid crystal. What is the meaning of that? The living systems evolved because of the first formation of a layer liquid crystal on the earth. Lyotropic liquid crystal is responsible for the life
I
generation.
want tea.
So, hello.
Please proceed. There was some disturbance. Take it
Okay,
forward.
fine. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, certainly. Please go on.
Is it clear?
Yeah, very clear, very clear. Maybe you can go a little bit slower, go a little bit fast on the faster side. So,
You want me to be slower?
slower, that would be, yeah.
Go slowly.
Yeah, go slowly because you can follow it better if you don't mind.
Okay, fine, sir. Fine, sir. But you have been able to follow what I said so far?
Yeah, please.
Oh, fine. It is very difficult. Okay, fine, sir. I'll try my best. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the suggestion. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay. As far as the liquid crystals are concerned, India is in the forefront. I mean, we have been able to contribute significantly to the growth of liquid crystals. In fact, Professor Chandrasekhar, Professor Sivaramakrishna Chandrasekhar, is a person. He's a he's a person who contributed significantly growth of liquid crystals. In particular, he was able to open a new era of liquid crystals called discotic liquid crystals. Okay. Actually, he was nominated. I'm extremely happy to say that he was nominated on 3 occasions for the Nobel Prize, whereas Dejan got it, but Professor Chandrasekhar, unfortunately, he died in the in the month in year 2004. So although his nomination was there, perhaps we thought that he will get it, but he was no more. So as all of you know, Nobel Prize are not given to persons who are no more. In fact, I'm extremely happy to say that I'm the first person to join Professor Sivaramakrishnan Chandrasekhar, who is a nephew of Sir CV Raman. And you know another Chandrasekhar, he's also nephew. He won the Nobel Prize in the astrophysics. If he were to be alive, he would have got India would have got one more Nobel Prize. I'm sure. I think Professor Somsekhar, everybody agrees with me that he was such a talented person. And if you just speak to him, just for a few minutes, I had an opportunity to speak to him for a very long time, about close to 2 decades. Whatever he spoke then, I used to hardly understand what he's saying. Okay, if he calls some, every day I used to interact with him and I would stand before him. He never asked me to sit. And he would go on telling about, soft matter, how it can be, what else you can do. He was also sensing about the clocking of objects using liquid crystals and so on. Many, many things. Whatever he said then, now we are realizing. Now people behave as if it's their discovery. It's no. Already an Indian scientist had already spoken about it. He had dreamt about it. And whatever he had dreamt then, I'm the witness for that, and many things are coming up now. And it appears that no, this is very important. Professor Chandrasekhar never had an, what is it called, writing and then pushing it to referee. Always used to scared about referees. One of his first discovery was appeared in Indian journal, that is Ramanna. Okay, so that's how he was very a person with many facets, many faces, especially in terms of physics. Although he was a chemist, he was a physicist, but I've been able to learn a good amount of chemistry as far as Professor Chandrasekhar is concerned. So if you look at his, the if I put a weight on them, yes, Chandrasekhar and another S. Chandrasekhar, you can see they look identical. So they're exactly identical. Okay, can see the nose.
Yeah.
See, nose are identical. Now, sometimes I get confused. Is it Professor Chandrasekhar or Professor CV Raman? I get confused. Well, that is the way I look at the things, and I'm really blessed to be associated with him such a long time. And I would never hesitate to say that since Professor Chandrasekhar worked with the Sir CV Raman, and Chandrasekhar, I work with Professor S. Chandrasekhar. I don't mind saying that I'm from family of Sir C.V. Raman. Thank you. Well, this is what the discovery of Professor Chandrasekhar. He discovered discotic liquid crystal. He demonstrated that disc-like molecule can self-assemble to give liquid crystalline phases. He was able to contribute significantly to the growth, especially the technical aspect. People were talking about rod-like molecules; those are being used in display technology. But he also came up with another new set of molecules. In fact, as I said, it is a new era as far as the liquid crystals are concerned. So actually speaking, the work started in 1964 or 65. It was reported in 1977 in Ramanna, and Professor B.K. Sadashiva, K.S. Suresh put together, all three together, they came up with a new era molecules. They're called discotic liquid crystals. Well, we have been, we are aware of everything that is around us. As I mentioned, you take a, ice and put it in a glass of water. Since crystal is there, water is there, it doesn't mean that it's a liquid crystal. It's just a physical mixing of two states of matter. So we have been able to figure out what is solid, what is liquid, what is okay, what is gas. Now, as I mentioned just now, it's the most important as far as I'm concerned. Liquid crystals are the essential components of all living beings. I shall repeat, very important. Liquid crystal, the essential components of all the living beings, right from unicellular system to bicellular, tricellular, we are all multicellular systems. We are composed of n number of liquid crystals. In fact, as a human being, you have about 10 to the power 14 number of liquid crystals. You would not have, or not me or you, any living thing that, for that matter, would not have existed or evolved without the composition of liquid crystal. First, liquid crystal was generated, that's called lyotropic liquid crystal, and everything started. Life started on the earth. I shall come back to that point and demonstrate what I'm saying. Okay, what is matter? All that matter is everything around you, and then matter is an object that occupies space and has a mass. Visible, it can be visible or invisible, like air. Matter is made up of atoms or group of atoms or molecules. Why matter exists in different forms? Well, as I said, all of we are teachers. We know we teach our students, right? We teach them about the existence of different states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and also we have both kinds in condensate. Okay, well, we have very four common states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. We'll not worry about bosons and condensate because the order is presented at the molecular level. We'll not worry about it. Then the big question comes. One would ask, any student would ask, when I started my career in liquid crystal, I asked a question, big question to Professor Chandrasekhar, why the states of matter, why there are four different states of matter, why do they exist in different forms? No, his answer was very simple. I'm representing here. The correlation between the constituent atom is different. Means you have any chemical substance or anything you take, they are made up of chemicals or atoms or a group of atoms, whatsoever. How do they associate with each other? How do they communicate with each other? How do they talk to each other? Depending upon we have different sets of matter. It is just how they talk to, how they associate with each other. It's a cooperative phenomenon, how they talk to each other. Depending upon the energy in the system, they associate in a different way. So that's how the we have different sets of matter. This is just a general sentence, but let us see what it is technically, why they exist in different forms. But let me tell you, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, bosons and condensate, five states of matter. They are independent state of matter. I shall repeat, they are independent state of matter. They have their own set of properties. Solids, they have one set of properties. Liquids, they have one set of properties. Likewise, we have in the plasma and molecules. Again, their properties is a reflection of the how they the constituent molecules, how they communicate with each other. Right. Okay, as I said, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. We are very familiar with this. And look at the arrow, red arrow I shown. Energy or temperature. As you increase the energy or increase the temperature, a solid would convert to liquid, liquid to gas, and plasma. What is plasma? It's ionized state of gases. Means it is a high energy content compared to solid. Plasma has a very high energy. Now we do have another state of matter called liquid crystals. Liquid crystal represent yet another state of matter that exists between solid and liquid. Therefore, they exhibit the properties of both solids and liquids. That's how that matches with my title of my talk. That how can crystals be liquid? Meaning that we have another state of matter, liquid crystals called liquid crystal. This particular state of matter has the properties of both solid and liquid. I shall repeat. Liquid crystal is independent state of matter. It has the properties of both solids and liquids. We shall see that. How can it be? Since it has the properties of both solids and liquids, therefore we call them, we say, we always attract attention of many researchers, how, meaning that crystals can be liquid or liquid can be crystal. That's very interesting. Meaning that liquid crystal possess the properties of both solids and liquids, and they are very interesting. Therefore, we all of us have been able to, live our life very comfortably. How? Like we talked about it later. More than that, there's one aspect as our life is evolved because of liquid crystal. There's one aspect. The other aspect is, technology. Liquid crystal. You take any electronic gadgets or devices, right from your, wristwatches, televisions, and you have come up to the big televisions now with a high size, length and breadth. We have been able to supply liquid crystals, and we have been able to make liquid crystal display. Now with one of the outstanding contribution of liquid crystal is that mobile phone. Nowadays, I don't think anybody would live with, as far as I'm concerned or anybody is concerned, doesn't matter that I have my wife besides me or not, but I should have a mobile phone. We are used to that stage. This development has taken place big thanks to liquid crystals. Also, it's a culprit. we know that our younger generation are, quite, they're almost addicted to, displaying, in the sense, the mobile. The mobile, the the mobile cost of the mobile is basically what kind of a liquid crystal display, what kind of molecules you are using, what is the clarity. I shall come back to that point a little later. But its price largely depends on how, the quality of the LCD that we call liquid crystal display. Again, it goes back to the bench. What kind of molecule you synthesize in the lab, and how much is the cost? Depending upon that, you have different types of, displays. Apart from this, as we know, we have both sense and condensate. So from today onwards, if students are there, they would say that how many states of matter you know. Now, with all that, pride and dignity, we can say we know different states of matter, apart from, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. I know both sense and condensate and liquid crystals. Now, if I ask someone to say about the existence of different sets of matter, I would go this way. Bose and condensate, solid, liquid crystal, liquid, gas, and plasma. Energy content increases with increasing temperature, and one can transform solid to solid to liquid crystal to liquid, liquid to gas, and gas to plasma. This is what we call in physics or chemistry phase transitions. I shall repeat. If I convert solid to liquid crystal to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to plasma, then it's called phase transitions. These are very, very important. There are so many ways of looking at it. And as far as physics is concerned, there's a big physics involved when there is phase transition from solid to liquid crystal to liquid. That's what Professor Somsekhar and others have investigated these compounds. They have thoroughly studied the phase transitions. Thank you to all of them. Well, let us try to, in order to understand what are liquid crystals. Now I'm getting into a sort of a technical presentation. In order to understand what are liquid crystals, let us fundamentally understand, although we know it, but let me have my own views, how I have understood. Please forgive me because these are very elementary, but for the sake of completion, I would like to mention about it. Please forgive me. We are well aware of the different sets of matter, especially three. We are very well, we are acquainted. We know solid, liquid, gas. Solid upon melting goes to liquid state, and liquid upon evaporation goes to gaseous state. And if you condense, gaseous state will get back the liquid, and if you freeze, you'll get back the solid. Okay, they are made up of tiny particles, atoms, or ions, or molecules. They distinctly differ in their properties. This is a consequence of, as I mentioned, the nature, polarity, shape of the particles or their arrangements within the given system, state of matter. Now, in order to understand what are liquid crystals, let us basically understand what are solids. Uh, as a reminder to you, is solids are basically of the two types: crystals, and we have amorphous solids, crystalline solids, amorphous solids. Again, crystalline compounds are divided into two. They're called anisotropic crystals and isotropic crystals. Isotropic crystal means when they interact with the light, let's say that I pass a beam of light through an isotropic material, isotropic crystal, the incident beam of light would come out, emerge without any alteration. Whereas if I pass a beam of light through anisotropic crystal, the property of the incident beam of light when it emerges out of the system would change. So that's how we distinguish between isotropic crystals and anisotropic crystals. With regard to understanding what are liquid crystals technically, I would talk about, of course, this applies to all the solids. I would talk about anisotropic crystals. Anisotropic crystals are generally formed of in the, there. I'm sorry. Their atoms or molecules, ion, are arranged rigidly. Large intramolecular attractive forces hold them together. Most importantly, as I just mentioned, they have crystallographically distinct axes and interact with the light in a manner that is dependent upon the orientation of the crystalline lattice with respect to the incident light. Let us not worry about such things, but main thing to note that I have presented in two ways. One, I have projected a three-dimensional picture and a two-dimensional picture. As you can see, they are static. There is, except for thermal fluctuation, nothing is happening. If you look at this, 3D structure, and here you can see a little bit of thermal fluctuation would be there. All the crystals, all the solids would have positional order. Molecules are restricted to occupy specific site. There is a background, some noise. I
No,
mean,
no, no.
somebody can.
Please go ahead. It has been taken care of.
Yeah, orientation order means molecules axis point in the specific direction. They maintain their shape, do not flow, cannot be compressed, and they exhibit what is known as birefringence, or they show what is known as double refraction. I shall repeat. In order to understand what are liquid crystals, let us bring in three aspects here: positional order, orientation order, birefringence. I shall repeat: positional order, orientation order, and birefringence, or double refraction. What is refraction? What is double refraction? We're all aware of we have been teaching our students refraction of light. It's a bending of light ray when it travels from one transparent medium to another. Means you take a glass of water, is all you have done it. I shall not go into the details. Yeah, when you put a pencil, it appears as if it is a bent. It's not the bending of the object; it is bending of the light when it travels from one positive refractive index medium, transparent medium, to another one. Refractive index of a medium is, as you know, it's a measure. It's a determination of how much of speed of light is reduced inside the system. Now we'll extend the same thing to double refraction. When an ordinary beam of light is made to pass through an anisotropic crystal, for example, calcium carbonate, the incident beam of light gets split into two. One is called ordinary beam of light and extraordinary beam of light. Now, if you take best example is one calcium carbonate crystal. Is it okay, sir? My speed is okay. I have to study to do this film.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now it's okay. No problem.
Okay. So calcium carbonate crystals you take, this is hydrolytically cleaved block. If I take calcium, this is naturally occurring. When I take that and put a pencil below it, it appears there are two pencils. These two images are originating from, since the crystal is anisotropic, means when an ordinary beam of light is made to pass through anisotropic crystal, the incident beam of light gets into two. One is called ordinary beam of light and other called extraordinary beam of light. The two images what you see, ladies and gentlemen, is because of the emergence or splitting of light beam into two. One is ordinary beam of light, another ordinary beam of light, and extraordinary beam of light. O ray and E ray. You are able to see two images. You can see pencil. It appears as if there are two pencils. It is simply because of the ray has split. One image belongs to ordinary beam of light. Another image belongs to extraordinary beam of light. Interestingly, when you rotate this crystal, the image which is due to ordinary beam of light, which follows all the optical laws. Ordinary beam of light follows all the optical laws, whereas the extraordinary beam of light doesn't follow optical laws. When you rotate the crystal, the image which is originating because of the ordinary beam of light would remain constant, would remain still, but whereas the image which is originating because of the extraordinary beam of light rotates with respect to with the angle which you rotate the crystal. Means you see as a pencil is rotating if you rotate the crystal. So that image is due to the extraordinary beam of light. Once again, it's important to note that ordinary beam of light follows all the optical laws, whereas extraordinary beam of light doesn't follow any optical laws. Okay, now how to test given system is anisotropic in nature. Interestingly, there are n number of things in our recent times, like plastic sheets, and this tape, tixo tape. I don't know what you call transparent tixo tape, whatever it is. All the plastic items are plastic, even plastic bottles, transparent plastic bottles. They are all birefringent. Now, if you go back to your school days, you have used scales, plastic scales, and all geometrical boxes. You have a number of two, three, plastic, two, three, including scale, two, three system. I mean, what is called? Yeah, scale. I don't know what others are called. They're all having. They're called. They have the ability to split the light into two. Means they are birefringent. They are polymers. As you know that plastics are polymers. they are strained or stretched. Because of their stretching, they are strained, therefore they show double refraction. Meaning that you can consider them as a solids, anisotropic solids, or a sheet of anisotropic sheet, if you would call. Meaning that when you pass an ordinary beam of light through plastic sheet or scale, whatever it is, the incident beam of light gets split into two. One is called ordinary beam of light, another called extraordinary beam of light. Then how do you know? So far, if students are there, they would not have known this. Okay, your scales, all the plastic sheets are birefringent. Means when incident beam of light gets into two, ordinary beam of light and the extraordinary beam of light. Is there any way to check? Until unless I said to you, now you know that plastics are, then how to prove it? Plastic sheets, plastic items, whatsoever. How do you know? For example, you take your old, you can recall your CD. CD had one cover, CD, what we call it, CD case. Yeah, CD case. It shows a very good birefringence. I mean, it's a birefringent material. Then how to know whether the given system is birefringent or not? We can do simple physics experiment. How to test a given crystal or given system is birefringent. All of you know that ordinary light, the sunlight or tube light, or the candle, the light coming out of the candle are called unpolarized light. There's a natural light. It's a natural light. When an ordinary beam of light, I call it ordinary because it's unpolarized. When an ordinary beam of light is made to pass through, or what is it, unpolarized light? A light wave that is vibrating in more than one plane is referred to as unpolarized light. When an ordinary beam of light is made to pass through, what is known as polarizer, the vibration of light gets confined. Suppose that I use a horizontal polarizer, the vibration of light gets confined to a single plane. That's called plane polarized light, where the vibration of light wave gets confined to a single plane. So now I can have two states of it. Plane polarized light, all right. Either I can, in the plane polarized light, I can have two states. One is vertical. I'm sorry. I have water. Okay, one is a vertical polarizer and a horizontal polarizer. That is, when an ordinary beam is made to pass through vertical polarizer, we have vertical state. If I turn it 90 degrees, if I take a vertical polarizer and turn it to 90 degrees, I can transform it into horizontal state. Means the light will be in a horizontal state. Okay, as you are taught to others, and I have been able to learn from most of you, you are a teacher, that when you put when you take one polarizer of vertical state and another polarizer of horizontal state, then what would happen is light would not emerge. If I place them on top of each other, vertical polarizer is falling on the another polarizer that has a horizontal orientation. Obviously, light won't emerge. So we can block the light by using cross polarizers. That's what exactly is being done in our LCDs. Light passes through. If I take a horizontal polarizer and a horizontal polarizer, just put them on top of each other, light would definitely emerge. When a vertical polarizer and horizontal polarizers are crossed, then light does not pass through. This is the dark state. So single polarizer we have two polarizers that are of the same orientation. If you have polarizers of opposite orientation, means they are crossed, then you have dark field of view. Totally. I think you have done this experiment. I think you are taught to your students also. If you have polarizers of the opposite orientation, if you put on top of them, then you get the light won't emerge. It's a very simple physics, optics. We can understand that point. That one very easily. Now, interestingly, when I put, you know, between the two cross polarizer and anisotropic object, especially anisotropic crystal, we can see clearly a very good, very decent, very interesting, very distinct color, different color depending upon the orientation of the different crystal present in the system. This is benzoic acid. What I shown is benzoic acid. You can see benzoic crystal has it not only it is the light is emerging, but it has a beautiful color. Crystal has a beautiful color. This is due to the interference of the two, ordinary beam of light and extraordinary beam of light. The light is emerging all right because, as you know, when you send a beam of light within the anisotropic crystal, the incident beam of light gets into two ordinary beam of light and extraordinary beam of light. So the extraordinary beam of light is emerging from that crystal. Therefore, you are able to see in light emerging out, and at the same time you have color. Why color? Color is due to interference of the two ordinary beam of light and extraordinary beam of light. Now, as I mentioned to you, if you take a plastic item and between the two between the two cross polarizer, you will be able to see the beautiful pattern. This is it's called birefringence. So now, having understood about solids, I shall recall them few important points. As far as the anisotropic crystals are concerned, they do not flow. At the same time, they show what is known as birefringence or double refraction. I shall repeat. You take any anisotropic crystal, it's one of the very interesting characteristics or outstanding properties of anisotropic crystals are as follows. They do not flow, but they, at the same time, they show what is known as double refraction. These two words are more than enough. Now, let me talk a few words about the liquids. In liquids, molecules, the constituent molecules are loosely held and diffuse randomly, as all of you are aware. This happens because there is no positional order, there is no orientation order. They do not maintain their shape, their flow cannot be compressed and are not birefringent. Meaning that the birefringence is the origin or is the consequence of the high orderness present in the system. In the sense, why water is not birefringent? There is no order. Whenever you talk about birefringence or double refraction, there should be order. Means light interaction with the order system is different from liquid. Meaning that I cannot have a liquid that shows birefringence. You take anything that exists, you take any liquid. I shall challenge, unless you do something to liquids, put a electrical field or put them under pressure or something. You we can introduce birefringence by doing something, but not naturally. You take any liquids on the earth, they are not birefringent, but they flow. Look at the two interesting aspects of solids and liquids. Solids, and especially anisotropic solids, they do not flow, but they show birefringence. Yes, understandable. On the other side, liquids, they flow, therefore no birefringence. Very simple, very extremely simple. Solids, order, birefringence, yes. Liquids, no order, birefringence, no. Very simple. Having understood this, now let us see what are liquid crystals. Now I want to summarize. Just look at it. How solid are what are the solids or anisotropic crystals and what are liquids. Just it's a summary. Solids, the orientation order, position order. Please note it is in 3 dimensions. Birefringence means double refraction, no flow. Exactly opposite. If you compare liquid, compare the properties of solids and liquids, no position order, no orientation order, they are not birefringent and they are fluid. Exactly opposite properties. Now, if I put a crystal between the two cross polarizer, solids, especially anisotropic crystal, show the light would emerge because of the extraordinary beam of light present, and at the same time you have color because of the interference of the both ordinary beam of light and extraordinary beam of light. Now, if I put same in the same geometry, having two polarizers crossed, and in this geometry, if I put a liquid, you don't get anything because anisotropic. Sorry, isotropic. Okay, where the molecules are under constant motion. So, having understood this, now let us see where do the liquid crystals stand. I mean, what is the meaning of saying liquid crystal represent fourth state of matter? They share the properties of both solids and liquids. How does it happen? What exactly I meant? I mean, liquid crystal are the intermediate state between the liquids and solids. Just now I mentioned solids, orientation order, yes, position order in 3 dimensions, yes, birefringence, yes, no flow, yes. Liquids, no position order, no orientation order, no birefringence fluid, exactly opposite. Ladies and gentlemen, God has created, I believe, cosmos energy is created another state of matter where uh, the properties of both solids and liquids are shared. For example, as you can see, to begin with, you see the two-dimension picture I shown. Are you able to see the movement of the molecules?
Yes, yes, we can see. Yeah.
Yeah. See, in the solids, molecules are static except for thermal fluctuation. There is no other movement as far as the solids are concerned. They are fixed. That's what we call, in term, technically, they have orientation order and position order. All right. But if you take liquids, liquids in the liquids, molecule tumble in all possible directions. You can see that. All directions. Okay, there is no molecule that is static. So we have the habit of just taking glass of water, drinking. Really, in the glass, molecules are literally dancing because energy content is high. Now, suppose that if I take a water, pure water, and freeze it, crystal. So H2O molecules are freezed here. You can see solids. When I melt it, it can go to liquid state. Generally, what we know is you take any solid, generally, when you take a solid, you heat it will go to its liquid state. Solid will go to reach to its liquid state by applying some amount of energy, means there's a phase transition. Solid is becoming to liquid because we have supplied some amount of energy. This is called phase transition. Well, what has happened? The lattices have broken. There's no more when I heat a solid to its liquid state, I'm taking out two parameters. One is orientation order and position order. Both have gone. So therefore, molecule will tumble all possible directions. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the central part, liquid crystals. Neither the molecules are static or they tumble the way the molecules tumble in the liquids. I shall repeat. You can look at the central picture where you are able to see the movement, sir.
Yes, 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 we can see. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the molecules neither static nor they move like those of molecules present in a given liquid, meaning that they move but with some order. So that is the beauty of liquid crystals. Therefore, because of this happens because basically so far we have been able to discover about 52 or 53 roughly different types of liquid crystal phases. All of them have their own set of properties that varies because of the many parameters, especially position order. So all the liquid, if you want to call a state of matter as a liquid crystal, it should necessarily have orientation order. So any liquid crystal that has been discovered, as I said, more than 50, all of them have necessarily orientation order. Besides, they may have position order in one or two dimensions. If it goes to third dimensions, it becomes a solid. In liquid crystal, in addition to orientation order, which is the important, that's a basic parameter one need to, if you want to call a system, a state of matter as a liquid crystal, it should have orientation order. Then, additionally, if you have position order, then their property changes, and therefore we have a number of different liquid crystal property. Again, how they orient, what are their parameters, the order parameters, whatever it is, depending upon that, we have different liquid crystal phases. Now, see orientation order, position order, and birefringence. So birefringence again is the emergence of the some order of the orientation order present in the system. You take any liquid crystal, they show double refraction like those of solids. And there's at the same time fluid. Well, liquid crystals, in essence, liquid crystal, to sum up, liquid crystals are the intermediate state between liquids and solids. I believe in cosmos energy and God. It's a beautiful state of matter that represents the properties of both solids and liquids. For example, they have orientation order, which we see in solids. They have position order in one or two dimensions, unlike in solids, where we have talked about 3D position order. Here you have 1D and 2D. This is very important as far as our life is concerned. If you want to be healthy, long lived, your body should be some of your biological system should be in 1D or 2D. If it goes to 3rd D, is a death. 1D, 2D is a life. If it goes to 3D, meaning that the dead body will have 3D, biological molecules. I shall come back to that point a little later. It's very interesting. Then we have birefringence. Okay, position order, birefringence are coming. These three properties are coming from the solid, and whereas this is fluid and viscous, these two properties are coming from the liquid. Meaning that when I take a solid, when I put them between the two cross polarizers, light emerging, yes, because of the ordinary light, beam of light, but they don't flow. On the other hand, if you take liquid and put them between the two cross polarizer, because it's isotropic system, light won't emerge, but there is a fluidity. Solids, birefringence, yes, fluidity, no. Liquids, light, no. Birefringence, no. Fluidity, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, liquid crystal, they flow like liquids, which is the property of liquids. At the same time, they show double refraction. This is very interesting. When you talk about double refraction or birefringence, there should not be mobility. When you talk about mobility, there cannot be birefringence. I believe strongly that God has created a beautiful state of matter called liquid crystals. They flow like liquids. At the same time, they show double refraction. Well, this is the transition I'm showing you. It's called a pneumatic phase, which is being used in most of the liquid crystal cell. Okay, what is being done is here. This is a pneumatic liquid crystal is going to a liquid phase. You can see this. See, this is now birefringent. It's very birefringent under the microscope. Now it is going to isotropic state, liquid state. You can see that. When pneumatic liquid crystal is there, you can see it is fluid and is birefringent. When I heated it to liquid state, I shall repeat. This is a transition from liquid crystal, pneumatic phase to liquid phase. Pneumatic liquid crystal is being anisotropic in nature. When I put them between the two cross polarizer, I will see both fluidity as well as double refraction or birefringence. But when it goes to liquid state, you will see only the mobility but not the birefringence. Okay, that's what is being demonstrated here. See, this is now birefringent. Okay, beautiful color and pattern is there. Now it went to isotropic. There is no light emerging out. So like that, I can also have holistic phase where I don't know whether it works or not. Okay, same thing I had given there. Okay, this is just a summary. Liquid crystals, they flow like liquids. The property of a liquid. They are birefringent, property of crystal. They are optically anisotropic, meaning that now I defend my. Now I think I've been able to address the question I asked as a title of my talk: how crystals can be liquid, or how liquid can be crystals. This is the answer. That is, liquid crystal being the intermediate state between solid and liquid. They have the properties of both solids and liquids. They flow like liquids. At the same time, they exhibit double refraction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the only state of matter or a liquid that shows birefringence. Thank you for listening to me patiently. If time permits, I shall proceed or I can stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the very nice talk, Dr. Yelamaggad. Will you take a few questions?
I will take, but if you permit me, I shall talk about another 10 minutes and wind up.
I think
not necessary. Okay, fine. Please, question. Yeah, fine.
We'll answer questions.
Yeah.
So if there are questions or comments, please raise your hand. Then we can go one by one.
Was it clear to you, or is it okay?
Yeah, fine. Now we'll go to the question answer session, please.
Yeah, please.
Okay, anyone who wants to ask questions, you can raise your hand, then ask. Let me start with the simple question. Are there any naturally occurring liquid crystals that are available?
That's why I said, sir, that's why if you give me 10 minutes, those who are interested, they can stay here. Those, if there are any engagements, quickly, maybe 2-3 minutes. Is it okay?
2-3 minutes you can take. Yeah, 5 minutes you can take.
Okay, fine. See. Okay.
naturally occurring. If they are naturally occurring liquid
Yes,
crystal,
yes, yes.
explain.
Sir, you are a bundle of liquid crystal. What else you want?
Yeah.
Okay, liquid crystal unique state of matter. The term was coined way back in 1818 by Otto Lehmann. There are two types: rheotropic liquid crystals and thermotropic liquid crystals. Thermotropic liquid crystals are in the technology side. Whatever LCD you see, it's because of thermotropic liquid crystals. Rheotropic liquid crystal, they constitute the life of anybody, right from, I said, I've been mentioning about it. Without the existence of liquid, first liquid crystals are formed and everything evolved. So actually, science of liquid crystal is a highly multidisciplinary one. So main contributors are physicists and chemists, and liquid crystal extremely sensitive to light, sound, temperature, pressure, electric field, magnetic field, and surface anchoring condition. Extremely soft, but they are the vital, promising, useful media for the living systems. Is an hardly exaggeration to say that in the chemistry of living systems, liquid crystal have behavior is as important as the carbon-carbon bond. The underlying point is the point to be noted is that living things would not have evolved without LCs. So, for example, life and life processes are critically based on liquid crystal behavior. It occurs in DNA, protein, tissue, cell membrane. Cell membrane is very important. Say, this is how life started somewhere in the north part of Australia. You know that the basic constituents are atoms and then molecules. Sorry. Okay. Atoms, molecules, macromolecule, organelle, cell, tissue, organ, and organ. So this is how it started. What you see here, say macromolecule means it's a generation of liquid crystal. First liquid crystal was generated. What do you mean by that? I think all of you know that what is cell membrane? All of you are constituted of, all of us are constituted of cells. Fundamental, whether it's a plant or animal or whatever it is, we are constituted of basic element is cell. Each and every cell is very well being protected by what is known as a cell membrane. First cell membrane was formed, then everything was put in by the nature. That's how the life evolved. I shall repeat. First, liquid crystal. Cell membrane is a liquid crystal. Cell membrane is a liquid crystal, which is very important as far as the cell is concerned. That's a cell wall. First, generally cell walls are formed, then everything is put in that. Then that's how we evolve. Organelle, cell, tissue, organ system, and whole organ. So cell membrane, as you know, it's a lipid bilayer structure. Okay. So if you take a cell, inside the cell you have water, outside the cell you have water. Okay. So this is lipid bilayer means this is self-assembly is due to the presence of water. Means this lipid bilayer is nothing but a iotropic liquid crystal. Okay. So what is that as far as the liquid crystal persons are concerned, myself or anybody for that matter, or Professor Somishkar, whoever has understood properly, or Professor Dijan himself, the what is aging? Aging is nothing but, please note, aging is nothing but continuous and systematic loss of water within the cell and outside the cell. For example, the newly born baby has 78% of water. When they grow old, just 1 year, there is a 13% of loss of water, and this is very systematic. It won't change. Adult, they have 60 percentage of water, and adult women have 55 percentage of water. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, why when you go to a doctor, when you go to any person, elderly person or a doctor or your father, mother, everybody asks you to drink water. Well, if I can hold water, the escape of water within the cell, outside the cell, and maintaining that concentration of 78%, then I would remain forever young. But as we grow old, as we keep growing, what I shown this picture, as we grow old, the continuous of loss of water is leading to, death. Eventually, we die because water will not be held by this lipid bilayer structure. Therefore, the water is expelled, and this lipid bilayer structure freezes. It becomes a solid, meaning that your plasma membrane has to be fluid. Means you can see any if your plasma membrane is not fluid, if it is not flexible, it can the cell division cannot happen. Meaning that your plasma membrane of all of us, we have a number of cells, 10 to the power number of 14 cells. Each and every cell is well protected or functioned by what is known as plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is nothing but liquid crystal. So liquid crystal has a two important property: one, elasticity, fluidity, and conduction of electricity and birefringence. So if you see, look at it, the division of cell happens because your plasma membrane is fluid. It's like a rubber band. This is one of my favorite, present slide. You can see an erythrocyte red blood cell is grabbed at opposite ends by a pair of colloidal particles held in optical trap, meaning that this particular person, my good friend, Kikuta, he was able to show that the cell membrane is elastic. You can see that pull and push. You are able to see the pull and push.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So meaning that as long as you keep your cell membrane fluid with perfect elasticity, then you would live long. Those who have the habit of drinking water, doesn't matter young or old, we should take minimum of 3 liters of water. Early in the morning, if you take 1 liter of water, start your life, start your day, and then over the day, you take about 2 to 2.5 liters of water, you would definitely live long because your cell membrane has to be fluid. And once again, I'm saying, your cell, no, water doesn't come, see, we tend to ignore, especially the senior citizens of India, or anywhere in the world, we ignore the significance of the water. When you are breathing, when you are talking, as it is, you are just sleeping, not doing anything also, you would lose water because you are breathing. That amount of water which is being thrown away by your body process, it should be replaced immediately. So people ask you to drink water. I'm sure that those who have the habit of, I'm sure is myself is the best example. And one of my best example case study is our Tumkur Swamiji, Tumkur Swamiji, our senior Tumkur Shivkumar Swamiji. I had interacted with him 11 years. I was trying to study him, and I found that he used to take lots of water, lots of water. I have spoken with many people who have lived long. I came to know that they take the water is their major, intake. Means at least they would drink about 3 liters minimum per day. Okay, don't we should not cross also. 3 liters, 3.5 liters would be an ideal one. I have many videos and slides to show. In the interest of time, I shall not get into the time. I shall not get into the all those things. And but I would say your plasma membrane is liquid crystal. It needs fluidity. It should be mobile. If you drink water, good amount of water, it remains fluid, and your all health problems would be solved. Your cell growth is, your cell division is important. You know that every day cells die and take rebirth. Cells are formed. If you don't use good amount of water, the growth of the cell will be stopped, and thereby you'll be ending up with the many diseases, even organ diseases. You have many diseases. I'm very sure that you will agree with me that I'm sure as a scientist I know the significance of water in our life. Doesn't matter. Don't think that I'm not thirsty. I don't want to drink water. No. When you are breathing, you are drinking. You are throwing out water. That should be replaced. There is something I believe in something that those who remain thirsty, they don't live longer. They lose their lifespan. It's like exercise. People tell you, okay, more than anything, my dear friends, you should drink good amount of water. See that in a day you finish at least 3 liters of water, and drink first hour of your daily life. Say the moment you get up, even you don't go for any cleaning or anything, brushing teeth or whatever it is. Generally, what I do, the moment I get up, straight away I go to my kitchen, warm water, 1 liter of water. If I'm in a mood, I'll put a lemon or a jaggery. I don't put this one, honey, because it's adulterated. So 1 liter of water, one full lemon, and little bit of jaggery to make the pH. That it should be neutral. So the jaggery has all that ability to neutralize. So you have alkaline water. If you drink that alkaline water, there are many videos you can see. You will be living long. So drinking good amount of water is very important. The answer to your question is very simple. You are a bundle of liquid crystals because you are 10 to the power of 14 number of cells, and each and every cell is protected by plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is a light perfect liquid crystal. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We'll move on to other questions, please. Shall we move on to other questions?
Please.
Yeah, other
Sir, can I
questions.
ask a question, sir? Professor Vijay Kumar Dodmani.
Please
Yes,
ask.
sir, please, sir, please.
Professor, thank you very much. Sir, I hope you remember me. I am Professor
What do
Kariga's
you
friend.
please ask a
Yes, sir, yes,
question?
sir, please, sir. I do remember, sir. I do
Sir,
remember.
since you were mentioning that I mean, we should drink more water,
Hmm.
then would not it load on the functioning of the kidney?
No, sir. That's what I said. If your kidney, why kidney would fail? Because you are fed up, you are feeding lots of toxins, but you are not washing it away.
Okay.
The persons who are suffering from kidney ailment, they should not follow me. The one who are now okay, fine with the kidney or fine functions of kidney and then the heart, especially kidney, they should now. If you are healthy, sir, if you have performance is good, you drink good amount of water. You talk to any doctor for that matter. If your kidney is functioning, drink at least 3 liters of water per day, sip by sip, not at once. And
I
also
think
sitting and drinking water is very, very important.
I think
Not just standing and drinking, it creates lots of problem.
yeah,
It is,
yeah.
you are going against the gravity. When you gulp water, it has some density, right? So it pushes down your gut. So
Okay.
that creates lots of problem.
Yeah. Other question. Next question, please. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Any other question, please? Okay, you mentioned that these TVs and mobiles, they got liquid crystal displays. What exactly is the material there? Could you give us some idea about that?
That's what, sir. See, sir, organic molecule, there's something called planar orientation and homeotropic orientation.
Yeah.
Okay, these are basically organic molecules. Organic molecules, they show the liquid crystal properties. Certain organic molecule means to begin with they are crystal. When you heat them, they into liquid crystal state. This liquid crystal state is being this is being used in LCD. What does it mean? It means that you are able to see. Maybe I'll show you that.
Which molecules? Which molecules?
Yes, yes, sir. I'll come back to that point. Yeah, whatever you see here.
Ah,
Yeah. See, all this, whatever you see here, or I shall put other one. Wait, can I? Yes, sir.
ah.
Can you see this slide?
Yeah. We can see. Mhm.
See, now you have two states. One is called voltage off state and voltage on state. Basically, you take any display, LCD display. This is the fundamental function. What is that? You have two glass plates between which you have organic molecules. Okay, and then
My
they are
question
covered
was
with
which organic molecule was my question?
no
Which organic
cyanobacterial. These are two ring systems.
which
Cyano,
organic molecules? Yeah.
yeah, I'm telling. I'm coming to that point, sir. Cyanobacterial. They're
Then
called.
medical?
Sorry.
No, please go ahead. No, some
Yeah,
disturbance.
two phenyl rings joined together. Okay, and then one side you have cyano group, other side you have long alkyl chains. These are called cyanobiphenyls. Okay, so these cyanobiphenyls are terphenyl, three-ring system, two-ring system. What they do is because of the presence of two entities, molecular entities, incompatible entities. One is hard, biphenyl ring, two benzene rings are hard, whereas long alkyl chain is softer. Because of this combination, when you melt, they melt into liquid crystal state, showing both fluidity and double diffraction. And these are very sensitive to electrical field. Now, as you can see, sir, here, screen bright, okay? Any LCD you take, you have only two configurations. One, the dark state, one is bright state. Dark state and bright state together, they form the image. For example, as I shown here, O is one is dark. See, whatever O is there is dark. Okay, these are the surrounding that is bright. There are only two states of liquid crystals. Okay, what is the dark state? What is the bright state? As I said to you, these are two polarizers. You can see these are two polarizers and two glass plates. Between the two glass plates, organic molecules are put. Okay. When you voltage is off, their molecule they are called planar orientation, the light would emerge through. Okay. When I drive them, when I apply electrical field, molecules get along, they get oriented along the optic axis, means dark state.
Aligned.
Yes.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ.
Yeah, bright state and dark state. This is how, because of the orientation of the molecule. Molecules are not frozen. Molecules are in the mobility. Therefore, I can drive them from planar. Planar means you take a glass plate. They're slipping on the surface of glass plate. When I apply electrical field of low voltage, they get aligned to applied electrical field, or they get oriented in the optic axis, I would say. So you have dark state and bright state. This is how all the you know that you have n number of pixels, thousands and thousands of pixels in your mobile or in your LCD or anything you take pixels, we call. All the pixels have only two geometry, either bright state or dark state. So you can give this experiment as for your physics students in experiment. I think this can be done in your laboratory itself. Okay, we can do that. Okay, a bright state or dark state. Okay, meaning that it's only orientation of the molecules, organic molecules, which are already in fluid state. Either you can make them lie on the surface, substrate, glass plate. And when you apply electrical field, you orient them along the optic axis. Then light would not emerge. That becomes a dark state. I hope I answered your question, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
One question, sir.
Please.
Please ask.
These organic liquid solids, do they have any life? Supposing a person dies, his plasma membrane will be torn up, or it will be lost. And in such a
plasma
manner,
membrane becomes a solid, sir.
Become solid.
solid.
Yeah. So I'll give one example. All your soaps, liquid soaps, shampoos, everything is a hydrophobic liquid crystal. Okay. Hydrophobic liquid crystal. Okay. Now, if I cut open and leave it for a long time on your sachet shampoo, it becomes dry.
Sir.
The same situation you can imagine with a plasma membrane. If you don't drink water, your plasma membrane is, see, death is nothing but your liquid crystal, your plasma membrane is going from liquid crystal state to crystalline state. That's the death. If you don't drink water, you can slow down this process. What is death? Death is nothing but, or aging is nothing but, slowly your plasma membrane is going towards solids.
Thank you.
If you maintain the liquid crystallinity or fluidity or elasticity of your cell membrane by drinking a good amount of water in a given day, you survive long. You don't have any problem.
Thank you very much.
It makes sense?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Very helpful. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Dr. Nagaraj, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here. I have two questions, sir.
Okay, please.
Yeah, could you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Don't call me sir, please. I'm your colleague. I'm your student.
Yes, sir.
Don't call me sir, please.
No,
Yeah,
we are
that's
colleagues.
what you have mentioned about the negative refractive index.
Yes, sir.
And what are the materials which show negative refractive index, and how to determine the refractive index, sir? Any possibility
Yes.
in our laboratory, I mean?
Yes, sir. No, it's difficult. You have to use ellipsometry. It's called ellipsometer. This facility is available in only IIC. It's very costly. Okay, so we have taken 1.5 years to prove that our molecule has ENZ, means epsilon near zero, means we are almost reached zero. We are going negative now. Okay, from positive to we have come to negative. Sorry, positive to zero we have come. So that's a big success. So these are called optical metamaterials. Metamaterials are generally formed of metals or plastics. Okay. For the first time, we Indians have shown, especially in my lab, I'm very proud about it. My student who demonstrated that using organic molecules and nanoparticles, one can attain this state where our investigations are on. So I got this award or whatever it is because of this discovery.
Oh, thank you, sir. Another thing, sir, you have mentioned about delta N, the difference in refractive index between the ordinary and extraordinary is directly proportional to the thickness of the material.
Yes, sir.
But the refractive index depends only on the material. Can we say that it depends on the thickness?
No, sir. It all depends.
Because
See,
in one of the slides you have shown that delta N is proportional to thickness of the material.
yeah, I'm coming to that point, sir.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
this is as far as the weak bioaccumulations are concerned, where there are no organic molecules. The moment organic molecules are there, the bioaccumulation would jump.
Oh, okay, sir.
I hope you got my point out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sparing your time. I request Dr. Nagaraj to propose a vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. To our members, KPA members, I would proud to say that Professor Yelamaggad is our life member and he has become member long ago,
Yes,
almost
yes,
in the
sir.
initial stage
Actually,
of
Professor
our
Venkatesh, no.
association.
Sorry, sir. I was sorry to interrupt. I don't know how many of you really know. I have been the key man behind this. Myself and Venkatesh started speaking about it. And then why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? He used to consult me every day. And then that's how, sir, you can start this when you become a first president, then we'll start. Then that's how I became initially the member. He initiated, I don't know who all are there behind, but Professor Venkatesh used to almost on day-to-day basis used to contact me. And then how to go about it. I'm the secretary to some societies and treasurer to some societies. He was able to take some information from us, and then how we started. I didn't want to say that, but since the opportunity
Yes,
came,
sir.
I
Yes,
said
sir.
it.
It is our proud to say that you are our life member, sir. That's
Yes,
why.
no, sir. I strongly believe in learning, whether it's a physics or chemistry. It doesn't matter if somebody says that I'm physicist, somebody says chemist. I don't like that anymore because see now I being a chemist, I've been able to speak up physics.
Yes,
I
sir.
was a very good physics student actually,
Yes, sir. Yes.
and my teaching was in mathematics. I used to give tuitions, mathematics.
Very good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
and
spoke like
also I sent the message through our KPA. The
yes, sir.
congratulations to
Yes,
the
sir. Yes, sir.
award
Thank you
of
very much, sir.
Raja Ramanna Fellow, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Again,
sir.
sir, I am congratulating on
Yes,
behalf
sir.
of our KPA members, sir. Please
Thank you, sir.
accept our congratulations.
No, thank you very much, sir. I am really truly honored.
Yes,
You
sir.
all of you congratulated, recognize my, whatever it is, whatever I have done. I don't know what I have done, but people have recognized it, and I'm very happy that things, moving in a great way. Yeah, I took 30 years to take this.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. In
Yes, sir.
fact, you have taken your time and you have excellently given the talk on especially the soft matter.
Yes.
And you said in the beginning itself, our entire life depends on the lyotropic
Yes,
crystals.
sir. Yes, sir.
And in fact, how the liquid crystals play an important role in our life. And at the same time, you also mentioned about the drinking water